Hello, hello. I think we're right on time. How's it get even better than that? Hello, my friend. And today, the question of the hour is, does your dog suffer from food allergies? And we are going to put that question into the chat system that I would love to say I created, yet it came to me, right? Hi, Susan. And so we're going to go through chat with that question. Does your dog suffer from food allergies? And I am Dr. Andy. If you have not been on with me before, you're a little bit in for a treat because we're going to do things differently here. So the chat system is a system that you can apply to anything, any issue about your animal that empowers you to know what you know about your animals. It is designed, I use that term loosely, to create with you some space, gather information about what you know, and then what can you choose with and for your animal? Mine don't. Hi, Neely. You have to clarify the mine don't. I don't know. Hello. So, hashtag empowered pet parents. That's one of my targets, is a planet full of empowered pet parents. They have the information, they know what they know, and they go where they need to go when they need to go and create with their animals. Okay, so chat. What is chat? Let's have a chat here. So chat is communication, animal communication, and that is simply, and I know you don't want to hear that it is simple, and that it possibly could be easy too, is you use the tool, light and heavy, follow the energy. We're going to practice that today, so no worries. Don't get ahead of yourself. Hi, Keisha. Thank you for coming, for being here, and for being you. The H is for health. What health issue? What can you add in that's going to work for your animals? I'm a big advocate, right, of body work. Love body work for your animals. That might be because I'm a certified animal chiropractor. I'm also a doctor of chiropractic. I'm a facilitator of access consciousness, and a facilitator of all things animals. So love to talk about animals. Oh, mine don't suffer from food allergies. Haha. Okay, now I'm with you, Neely. Thank you for the clarification. And assessment, which is a big fancy word for asking questions. Asking questions, following the energy. How could it be even more ease? And then we're gonna find out, or ask, or get really in touch with what is your target with your animals now and into the future. So that is our chat. So let's get started with, does your dog suffer from food allergies? Well, we've established that Neelys do not suffer from food allergies. Does anybody here have a dog, or had a dog, because we can kind of play in the past tense too, that has suffered from an allergy, or you've been told that your dog is allergic to XYZ? Anybody here? I thought we could play with a little live energy, and if not, I have plenty of examples in the bank. So if not, how did we get so lucky that the peeps here, their animals don't suffer from allergies? Okay, Keisha said I had a few dogs in the past. Okay, Keisha, do you have an example, a specific example? We're going to get specific, not that we have to. And we're waiting for that. And I can even kind of start if it's been a while and she doesn't remember what the dogs happen to be allergic to. But hi, Ashley, yay. Okay, so let's go with one of the popular ones that I know my clients are told by their veterinarians that their dog must be allergic to. What's the big one out there? Anybody? Let's go with chicken. Black lab who is congested, and Susan, Mr. B cat. Okay. Pollens and cottonwoods, that's not food. Hello, Troy. Skin stuff is the most common. Yeah, those are the symptoms. What, I'm looking for like chicken. I'm looking for like beef. I'm looking for potatoes. I'm looking for a food. We can get into environmental stuff on another one. Okay, reacts to chicken. I like that term, reacts. I actually don't like the term allergy. So if you hang out till the very end of this, you'll get my interesting point of view about allergies in general, but you have to stick around. She's just like, oh, that's what you're asking. Yes, sorry. Maybe I wasn't clear. I apologize if I was not clear. So chicken. Let's go with chicken. It seems to be the most popular food. Protein, flavor. In kibble, it seems to be the most popular flavor. Okay, so we're gonna go with chicken. So we start out with a question. And this is a pretty confronting question, and this is what people don't tend to look at, is your animal actually allergic to chicken? And you simply look at it from a yes or no. And you all can play along. You can all bring an animal to mind that you suspected had allergies in the past or in the present. You can think about a friend's dog if you don't have one, or a friend's cat if you don't have one. But you can bring up that energy. We're talking about, love our doggy chiropractor, thank you, Troy. But we're talking about the energetics of this. Is my animal actually allergic? Yeah. Is your animal actually allergic to chicken? Okay, you can do this on your own, but we're going to play with it today. And it's a yes or no. None of the story. We don't get to go into the story right now. It's a yes or a no. And this is where we have the tool light and heavy. So what is lighter, the yes or the no? And this is where most people go into, well, my vet said, and that when they ate this, it happened. And that is the story of it all. But let's look at the energy. And we're going to start playing with this a lot more on our live chats here, because this is going to take practice. This is very different, and this is pretty much the opposite of what is done in this reality. And so don't get caught up on everything, okay? So it's just a simple yes or a simple no. And you can just do this in your head. So Keisha wrote it out for me. Is my animal actually allergic to chicken? Yes or no? Okay. If you got a no, let's go down the no line. Okay, what do I do with that now, Dr. Andy? No, but my vet said. Okay. So if not allergic to chicken, then what else is it? So we continue with the questions. So what else is it? Is it the brand of kibble? Is it the kibble? So is it the food I'm feeding, or is it something else? Let's go with that. Oh, it's something else. I'm just kind of tapping into you guys. I get a something else. So do we actually have a food issue? Yes or no? No. Okay. Now, Dr. Andy, I'm kind of stumped. If it's not the food, what is it? Well, that's a really good question. What is it? Right? So let's go back to Susan. Is it the food or something outside? Is it the food, or we talked about this before, is it some kind of the detergents in the area? You know, cleaning products in your house? Is it the food or something else? Is it the snacks? Keisha puts up, is it the snacks? But you kind of see how we like start picking it apart instead of just buying what has been projected onto our animals, or buying what the vet said this much must be. Okay, we start asking our questions. Is this the food or something else? Is it the bath stuff, right? You can, hi Charity. We can get a little wonky here. We can get a little wild. We can get a little crazy. We can go, is it this lifetime or another lifetime? Cool. Is it a vaccine reaction? Even if those vaccines were given 8 months ago, 3 months ago. All right. See, and is it the flea stop? You guys are huge contributions, right? So, it's kind of like everywhere we go to, it must be the food. What if it's not? And everywhere we go, it must be an allergy, which it may not be. And like Neely used earlier, is it could be a reaction. It could be an irritation. It could be a sensitivity. It could be, you might think it's the chicken, but what if it's the potatoes? Right? It may not be the food. But see how we start asking questions and start following the energy. It's just presenting as. And one of my favorite tools, which I actually forget a lot of times, and actually I had a reminder with a client this morning, is what if your animal, their body, whatever they are presenting as, let's say we have itchy skin, we're chewing on our feet, we have recurrent ear infections. What if that is just information? It's just information. And everywhere you go to, it's a problem. This is wrong. We must do XYZ, actually locks it all in place. So we have, let's say, recurrent ear infections. And you go to the vet, because that's where most people go, Neely. I'm sorry. I hate to tell you these things. That's where the vast majority of people go. And it's not a wrong place to go. It's just, what if we arm people with more tools and more information that they can then include with what they do get from their vet? I'm giving Neely a little bit of a hard time. They go to the vet with their recurrent ear infections. And they go, oh, they must be allergic to chicken. And you change foods and nothing changes. Did you ask a question? Was it actually food related? Some of the fun energetic questions you can go to with ears is about yourself in relation to your animals, is what are you not willing to hear? So what is your animal's body, what information are they trying to portray to you with that? That has maybe nothing to do with what they're eating. Charity says, sounds like you're talking about skin issues. Boston is having an issue with swollen and puffy eyes right now too. Her hands are clear. Doesn't seem to be this time. I'm assuming allergies. So if Charity's willing to play, why is Neely sad? I didn't. Sorry if you're sad. You're sad that most people go to the vet. I'm trying to figure out what Neely's sad about. It's sweet. So if Charity wants to play along, so truth, is it allergies? Is that what Boston is going through right now? And you put on that truth in front of it, because then you can't. You have a harder time lying to yourselves. I know, hugs to Neely. You have a harder time lying to yourself, and you'll know where that lie is. You'll just know it. So it's a fun little trick to play on yourself and others, but we'll get into that another time. But, truth, is it allergies or something else? Add in that something else so you can have maybe somewhere else to go with it. Because those points of view, because she assumed, she may have decided awareful or non-awareful, right? You decided it must be allergies because, oh, we're in the spring and he's done this before, and whatever you've decided. And we also have that fun clearing statement that you could use to then change the energy and create more space. So if you're not familiar with or would like a video with a further explanation of the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement, put magic down in the comments and we'll get that to you. I'll go ahead and yeah, it's a video of me and we'll go through all the steps of that word clearing statement. If you're familiar with it or not, or you just like, oh yeah, I need that, right? Because that popped, that's light, that's the energy you follow. So is it light? Hang on, let me see if there's more here, or if it just stopped. It did just stop. Okay. I don't know if Charity was still with me or not. So is it light or is it heavy when we talk about Boston? Are these allergies? Is that a yes or a no? Okay. Are these a sensitivity? What is Boston trying to tell me with these symptoms? So many different places to go. So many different questions to ask. And every body is different. Okay. So, what would Boston like you to do about it? She says it's light. It's light that these are allergies. And this is how we play with these tools. So is it food or is it outside? Let's start there, Charity. Is it a food or is it outside? And I have, she uses that tool all day, every day. I do too. We use the tools all day, every day. I don't know how people function in this reality without the Access tools. They're amazing, even and especially with our animals. We'll see if Charity gets back to me. So what do you generally do if your animal suffers from food allergies? Are they really suffering? We could go into that. It's not my favorite word. Do our animals actually suffer? Or is that strictly a point of view? So many places to go with this. But what if we just started with the simple question of, and you pull into your dog into your head, you know, put your intention on them, tap into their energy. Okay, she says that she thinks it's outside and she's using Benadryl to help. It is heavy this time. Okay, so is that a problem? Is Benadryl a contribution? See, it doesn't necessarily have to be a wrongness that you're using something that we would consider much more traditional, if that's what the body requires. Because how often with our animals that no matter what you choose, you think you're choosing wrong. And what? Okay, awesome. So she's looking for what else he may require. Yeah. And you can start asking him. Or is he just kind of cool with the Benadryl? You know? You know, and what if it's not a problem that he's taking a lot of Benadryl just right now? And you can't discount all the points of view on the planet that it is springtime right now. And so allergies are bad right now. How many people have that point of view about themselves and about their animals, that they would have springtime allergies or early summertime allergies or into the fall time allergies? Like right now when things are out blooming and everything, how many points of view are on the planet that we should have allergies. Our animals should have allergies. Our animals are expected to have allergies to outside and our food. And how often do one spur the other? Like if you have the point of view that your animal has food allergies, and then we get into spring and those spring allergies are worse, are they related because of our points of view? So Charity, does Boston require anything else? Yes or no? All right. Food allergies. Chicken. Chicken is cheap. Everybody eats it. There's so many points of view that everyone's allergic to it. Is that actually true? Or have we bought that somewhere from someone? Have we sold it from someone, you know, to other people, so we've then bought it? Like, what if chicken's not a problem? And what if it's still a choice not to choose chicken? I'm seeing if Cherry, try the powder on his food a bit again. I still have some. Okay, cool. So she has another supplement at home that she's going to try again. Awesome. Why not? How much more play can you be with your animals that you're not willing to be? Right? How much more fun are you willing to be with your animals that you're not willing to be? And how much less significant and serious can we be about the problems, the allergies, the sensitivities, the what we feed, the what we don't feed to our animals can we be that could change everything? Our questions, our assessments. So what is your target with your animals when it comes to their food allergies? Is your target to just stop feeding, find out exactly what's wrong and just stop it? Is your target to get an idea of what's going on, management, adjust, change, shift your point of view so it's not so significant? What is your target? To do everything your vet is asking and recommending because that's what you're comfortable with? Like, so, hi Erin, thank you for coming. What is your target? Is your target just to keep them comfortable? Is your target to get them through one more season and then off season do more research, more work, more changing with their body to see if you can affect it? But see how all that language and that energy is a lot less significant. And what if all of it could shift if we reduce the amount of worry, we reduce the amount of significance? And some of these chats, I have people put all their significance in a box over here, right? All the significance in a box over here. And we just put it there. You can pick it back up at any time. But what if the less significant we make any allergy to anything or sensitivity to anything, the less it actually becomes a problem or an issue, or the symptoms change, or your animal is more comfortable, or so on and so forth. So it doesn't just kinda, it mostly comes back to your points of view about it. So I think that's all I got on this. Oh, I did say, if you hung out till the end, that is there such thing as a true food allergy? My interesting point of view, and you take it for what it's worth, is the longer I hang out with animals and the more I talk with people and the more questions I ask, that it is very rarely ever a true food allergy. There's a lot of sensitivities. There's a lot of sensitivities to the whole food that you're feeding, be it kibble, mostly kibble or canned, because you cannot control those ingredients. And what if it's actually more of an irritation by the heavily processing of foods that you're feeding, rather than a true allergy to one protein? I think that everyone's allergic to chicken type thing that we hear a lot out there in the world, different veterinarians, different other professionals is really rather silly. A true allergy, which is actually, if you really want to get technical, you do need a blood test, and you actually need an IgG response. And there's inflammatory responses, and it's a whole big thing. So an actual true allergy, I think, exists very, very, very small percentage of the time. And we have lots of sensitivities. We have lots of points of view. We have lots of bodies that are giving us information that we need to change something. That what if we started listening to that and not get caught up on the why? One of my favorites is, what if why? You never need to know why again. What if why is not important? What if why is not significant? And what if that is just like, how could you say that, Dr. Andy? Because of course we need to know why, right? But what if we don't? What if that's another lie of this reality? What if you shift and change, ask questions, and see what you can create with your animal through those questions? So a very different live chat here on Facebook. Thank you for those that made it to the end. If I happen to, yes, hashtag no more why. Thank you, Keisha. And if anybody would like the video of the explanation of the clearing statement from Access Consciousness, put magic in the chat. I will send that to you. That is still being done manually, so give us a couple days to get that to you, but we will check the comments, even if you're watching this after the fact, and we will get that to you. And then we can add a little more magic to the chat that we're already having. My target is to do more of this, throw more questions into your world, and a lot less, I know y'all want somebody else to tell you the answer, but what if we do more questions than answers? And what if that creates more for you, your animals, the planet, everything? So thank you, thank you, thank you. Pop magic into the comments. I will be back next Tuesday at 4:05 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're going to have another chat. I don't know about what. I can never... It's so funny. I look at next week's topic, and then by the time I get to the end of this, it goes... it's gone. But if you are a free member, you'll get the email, you'll get the topic, you'll get the notifications if you opt into those on this page on Facebook. And I want to thank you all. Until next week, or we meet again in person sometime, maybe. Hey, whatever. How much fun can you have with your animals? Thank you, Keisha. Bye, everyone.